Hi artists, art teacher Abby here today. I'm excited to make art with you. Today we're making watercolor resist hats from the Seedlings winter box. Let's get out our project card and see what we need. For this project, we need our winter hat, watercolor set paintbrush, white crayon, yarn pom-pom, glue, and scissors. Let's get started. So we're gonna start with our watercolor resist hat that came in your box. Now we're gonna grab our white crayon and we're gonna make any kind of designs we want on this hat. Just to show you some examples, here's one design. Here are a couple more designs. You can make any kind of designs you want. I'm gonna start by making some big stripes up here. I know this part's a little tricky because you're using a white crayon on white paper, so it can be a little bit hard to see, but just do your best. I'm gonna put some vertical stripes within this stripe. Now I think I might add some polka dots going in a stripe this way. And I might do kind of a scallop design like this. And I might do another stripe that has like a zigzag sort of wavy design. And then I think I'll do some more stripes and designs in this part of the hat. Maybe I'll do some sort of triangle shapes like this, and some more vertical stripes on the bottom like this. Okay, now that I've finished my white crayon design, I get to play with watercolor. This is the fun magic part of this. So I'm gonna get my watercolor set out. I'm gonna get my brush, and the first thing I'm gonna do is make sure that my brush is nice and wet. So I'm gonna swoosh it around my water cup. And if you haven't worked with watercolor before, the one thing you wanna keep in mind is that water is the most important word when we think of watercolor. Water, water, watercolor. We wanna make sure that our color has a lot of water in it before we start painting. So like I say, we always want to give our watercolor a bath before we start painting. So I'm going to get some water on my brush. I'm going to swirl it around my orange. I'm going to swirl it, make sure it's nice and wet. And then I'm going to start painting the top of my hat. You can see some of my designs starting to peek out. Look at that. So what happens is the wax of the crayon stays on the top of the paper and resists the water from the watercolor. So anywhere where you've put crayon, the watercolor can't stick to that part of the paper. Now I'm gonna play with different colors. I'm gonna mix some red and make sure my red's good and wet. I'm gonna swirl some red into my orange. What color do you get when you mix red and orange? Red orange. Good job. That's a tertiary color on the color wheel. Look at that. Oh, I'm starting to see my polka dots. Now I'm gonna mix in some purple. If I mix in some purple with my red, I'll get a little bit of a red-violet color. That's another tertiary color. Let's see, I'm gonna do some more purple, and then I'll start mixing in some blue. Do some blue right here. Oh, you can start to see some of my scallop design there. Try some more blue down here. And I think I'll end with some green. What colors are you picking for your hat? Oh, that sounds wonderful. I bet your hat's looking really awesome. Add some more water to my green and swirl it around. I think I want to make a little bit of a blue-green in this area, so I'm gonna swirl my blue and my green together. Kind of mix that up. Look at that. All right, I'm starting to get some really awesome colors here. I think I might add a little bit more purple in this area. All right, so once you get to a point where you have your crayon design done and your watercolor part painted, you want to let this dry before we move on to the next part. So I'm going to set this one off to the side to let it dry. And I have this one that's already dried. And look at how much more my design stands out now that my watercolor is dry. Look at my fun polka dots and my swirls. That's looking pretty cool. So now what I need to do is take my scissors and cut out my hat using my scissors. Okay, I've got my scissors. So I'm just gonna follow this outline and cut my hat out. It's okay to ask for a grown-up's help if you need it. I'm just gonna carefully go around my hat. Okay, I've got my hat cut out. Put the scraps off to the side. And I'm going to get my glue, my tacky glue, and my puff ball. And now what I'm going to do is just squeeze some glue out at the top right here. I'm going to just squeeze some tacky glue out. And then stick my little yarn puff ball right on top. And I'm gonna let that tacky glue dry so that my yarn ball stays nice and tight on top. And then I've got myself a nice colorful winter hat. How's your hat turning out? I bet it's wonderful. Thanks for making art with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.